Sorry, let me put my red pill hat on. Talk so much about what men need to do and how shit we are. Just curious, what would you say women need to do? Masculine traits are like strong, defender, protector, provider for my family, confidence, leader. So he's finally gone mask off and just unilaterally blame men for essentially everything in the relationship space. Unironically saying the reason women that are hot only is because men are shit is because I guess he talked to someone. Why do you guys think this shit? I'm not blaming anybody. The thing is that like, the funny thing is whoever you are, this guy would agree with me 100% if I phrase it every way. Sorry, let me put my red pill hat on and let me say the exact same thing, but let me say it in a way that makes you feel better about yourself, okay? Over the past 30 years, we have engaged in so much affirmative action. We have taken women from being basically lesser than men to elevating them above men. Feminism is not about gender equality, it's about female domination. It's why women are graduating 60-40 to men. It's why women have role models scattered across the political sphere now, scattered across the media sphere, scattered across every single area of society, while men are constantly being attacked and on in real life, right? So what's happening after 20 or 30 years of this type of behavior? Women are now working jobs, men are still killing themselves at record rates, women are still doing decently in family courts and all this shit, and they're being built up in every single part of the system, and men are just getting left behind, right? If I say it like that, you're like, oh yeah, preach, Steven, yeah, preach. But then if I add like the obvious if I add the obvious next point is that like women have leveled up a ton and men are just like kind of shit right now, then it's like, oh no, that's not fair. Well, no, what do you mean? We're saying the same thing, just in different words, right? Men are kind of shit right now. I'm not blaming men for it. If anything, I'm blaming society for it, which was ran by men. But if anything, like, yeah, I'm blaming society for it because society spent a lot of time building up women in huge ways, and they've done a really good job at it. They have. They've done a phenomenal job at giving women access to the workplace, excelling in college, and reproductive rights, right? And that's helped women elevate their shit a ton. And men haven't really elevated their shit at all. They still expect to work a job and get a woman. It's not enough anymore. I'm not blaming men for that or even shitting on men. I guess if you see it the way, that's fine. But like, here's a couple of realities that like the red pill people, I don't know if they'll tell you this or not. Here's a couple of realities. Women are not getting rid of birth control. That's not gonna happen, okay? So fucking a woman doesn't guarantee that you're gonna get pregnant anymore. So that's one. And two, women aren't gonna stop working. They're not, like, they just don't want to. That life sucks, by the way. The traditional female life sucks. And to think otherwise is a cope, okay? Women like to have their freedom. They like to be able to travel. They like to be able to do things. I'm not saying that they don't like families. People like families too. A lot of women hit 30 and like, oh, fuck, I think I do want kids, right? That happens too. But women like generally enjoy the freedom and everything. That's fun too. So if those two things are true, if women have reproductive rights and if women are working, you're gonna have to find a way if you wanna succeed. You can do one of two things. You can either brood and cry in a corner all day long, or you can go take up classes, learn how to use an and go Elliot some people, or you can figure out, okay, well, women are doing all these things now. I used to be able to do that and get a woman, and now I can't just work a job anymore because me having a paycheck is enough. I need to find some other way to add value to a woman's life so that she'll date me, right? Those are the only three directions that you can choose, okay? Choose wisely, modern man. That's all you can do. Also said that the average man has nothing to offer for the average woman, but something I've been thinking about for a while. Every time he speaks about issues women have, he goes like, women have to deal with X, they have to deal with Y, they have to deal with Z from men. And when he talks about issues men face, he says men have to deal with X, they have to deal with Y, and they have to deal with Z from women because men. He always, when talking about the issues men and women have, blame men for the reason of the problem. He's the opposite of the red pill, but just a reaction. I don't know what to say. Like, I'll say it again for the 50 millionth time. Like, I'm not blaming men, I'm not blaming women. There's always two sides to like every thing. I don't know how else to say it, but you only want to hear one side. You just want me to be Pearl for you, right? You always want me to be Pearl for you. It's women are to blame, and I guess blame them over and over again. But like, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want me to say, right? I don't know. Yeah. If women are becoming more masculine, how the fuck do you substantiate that when women date down on a significantly lower rate than men? Because women don't need to date for something. That's the difference, right? It sucks, but the old saying of like, I don't need no man, for a lot of women is kind of true, right? Like, men do need women to date them because they want sex if you're going to be shallow on it, but a woman doesn't have to date a man to get sex. She can hook up with a dude on Tinder and then go hang out with her friends and like have a really good time with her friends and do that shit constantly. She gets a ton of fulfillment from all these other areas of her life. And if you're a man, you're just like locked in your room on Discord all day, I guess, or cranking out reps at the gym. But yeah, I don't know. Like, figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'll think about it more, okay? Destiny, you talk so much about what men need to do and how shit we are. Just curious, what would you say women need to do? So I'll come off as biased here, but I think women have done a lot, but it's because society has helped them do a lot. Society said, we're gonna make women figure out how to fucking do college. And they did it exceedingly well. And now women do that. And they're like, okay, we're going to make women figure out how to fucking work jobs. And they do it now exceedingly well. And they haven't really done the same for like, we're going to help men do something, because men kind of like ran all this shit before, right? So women have grown up with the whole feminization thing intact. They've learned all the shit they need to do to be women and to do all the things to be women or whatever. But now they've like, society's pushed them in that masculine direction too, and they've learned all the masculine things. But that same push hasn't happened for men, because men were the predominant power holders before, and we still carry that in our minds, that men are superior, men are superior, men are superior. Even the feminists think that, whether they know it or not, that they're unwilling to say like, okay, we need to spend some time now building men up. We need to do something to help men figure their shit out. And society hasn't done that, so men haven't done that in general yet. I don't know. I don't even know what that push would look like. I've had some people email me. I've had one person email me and tell me that like the thought of even talking to a school administration, or like, hey, maybe we need some accelerated programs to help men back in school, because women are crushing men in school, and that trend is continuing in that direction, and you wouldn't even be able to have that conversation in a lot of school administrative rooms, because it would just be suicide. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Women have leveled up a ton over the past like 30 or 40 years, and I don't know. It seems like society hasn't been interested in pushing men a lot. But I think in a lot of the ways, you're never going to be able to convince the red pillers that men need to accept more feminine traits. It plays way too hard on the feminization of my talking point. Yeah, I know, but that's because like but it backs up all of my arguments too. Fuck, there's like 30 things just pop my head. Okay, the reason why this argument is so dog shit is because people will say like, oh, you don't want to feminize men, femininity is bad. And it's like, okay, well, hold on, I mean femininity is bad. Here's the problem that I have, okay? Masculine traits are all good and awesome and cool. Everybody wants the masculine traits. They're the best traits, right? Masculine traits are like strong, defender, protector, provider for my family, confidence, leader, powerful, influential. These are like masculine traits. And feminine traits are like breastfeeds, soft skin. And also catty, bitchy, overly emotional, weak-willed, follower, right? It's all the shitty traits, right? So obviously, women want to be masculine because they're like, these are the best traits. All of these traits are awesome. They're the coolest things to have, which is true. They shouldn't even be called masculine, feminine traits. And then when men think of femininity, it's just like, well, fuck, what does it mean to be a feminine man? You're gay, get fucked in the ass, you're emotional, you cry all the time, you're catty, snaky, backstabber. It's like, I don't want to be feminine. Those are the worst things ever. And it's like, well, yeah, if you think of it that way, then of course you are. But then it's funny too on the flip side. I always forget what I say privately versus publicly. N-word. No, I'm just kidding. I think that the thing that frustrates me is sometimes red pillars will talk about how certain things, like here's this one that comes on over and over and over again. And we saw Max do this. I know this works from personal experience, right? You see them say things like being emotional is really bad. If you're emotional as a man, women will get turned off immediately from that. If you're ever emotional, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bro, being emotional is one of the most effective ways to manipulate a woman or anybody. It is it's one of the most effective ways to gaslight somebody. It's one of the most effective ways to get over something, right? Did you cheat on me, babe? I saw that woman that you were with yesterday. What the fuck's on? I'm going through a hard time. She looks like my mom. I don't know. Dude, you can fucking cry and lie your way out of so much shit and be emotionally manipulative like a motherfucker. It is the easiest way to gaslight somebody is when you appear emotionally dysregulated. And if you're like an abusive person, you know that. So it's so funny that on like the abuser side, these people know like, yeah, am I emotional and vulnerable? That bitch thinks I am. That's how I fuck her mind that way, right? I use the tears to get in the back door and destroy her fucking soul. And then meanwhile, red pillars saying like, oh yeah, if you're ever emotional, like a girl will leave you. Like, bro, emotionality is one of the ways you get people the most fucked up, like spiritually. So I don't know, dude, but I don't know how to, because it's, so circling back, I agree with you that telling a man to be more feminine sounds shitty, but it's because we say that feminine traits are all shitty. And it's like, well, of course men aren't gonna wanna be more feminine. But like, in reality, femininity probably just means like having like better emotional control in general. Emotional control, right? I just went through 3 months of red pillars saying like women are more emotional than men. And then in the past 2 weeks, I've had like 3 different people threaten to kill me because of a misinterpreted comment about some dude's mom who's been dead for 6 months, right? Come on, are you fucking serious? It's just like, it's all so silly. But also, I don't care. Do your shit. More women for me, okay? What is a good feminine man in your opinion? They want like, you gotta be like fucking like going at it. You want somebody to tell you to go to the gym and get shredded, and then if you become a fucking monster, you can